Let me tell you one terrible thing that I used to do when I had health anxiety. Now, don't judge me for it. Remember that this was a very, very dark time. I was going through a lot, but when my health anxiety was really bad, I followed on Instagram loads of terminally ill people. Now, I know some of you here would be like, why on earth would you do that? But I also imagine that there's some of you here that can relate to that. Now, firstly, I would follow people who had whatever illness I was currently worried about. So if I was worried about bowel cancer, I would follow people that had it. And I think there was a part of me, selfishly in a way, that was just trying to convince myself that I was okay, right? I was just trying to desperately see the differences between me and this person to make me convinced that, yeah, I don't have this. But secondly, there was also this kind of morbid curiosity because I was essentially facing my fear every single day. Every day I would go online and I would see posts. It was like, it felt like exposure therapy. It was not, and it did not help. So let's get that straight. But that's how it felt at the time. And I guess the third point as well, thinking of it, is that there was also this kind of desperate hope for me to see somebody recover and get better from whatever it is or whatever it was that I was worried about. So it's like I almost wanted to just prove my fears wrong. But the problem was that all it did, as you can imagine, was just completely trigger me every single day. And it wasn't just one person that I was following, it was multiple people that I were following. And so every time I'd go onto my homepage, I was just seeing these updates from these very, very unwell people. And it just made me more scared. And I think there was also a part of me doing that whole kind of like magical thinking type thing of like, if I just keep worrying about it, then maybe it won't happen. And I almost felt like I had to expose myself to this kind of thing to prevent it from happening to me, which makes no sense. But this is what OCD does, right? It kind of just puts these crazy thoughts in our head that have no reflection on the actual reality in front of us. But it's something that not only, did I do myself when I had health anxiety, but I've actually worked with a lot of my clients who have done the same thing. And one of the first things I get people to do is to unfollow those accounts because it is not going to make your health anxiety better. And it is just going to stunt your own recovery. And so whilst it's nice to show support and be there for people that are going through things, you also have to set some boundaries here when it comes to your health anxiety. Do you relate to this? If so, let me know in the comments.